Are you looking for a new farming sim that maintains fan favourite elements of the cozy farming sim genre while adding a new twist, specifically magic? Let's head straight into our Fae Farm review to showcase one of the latest farming sim releases. In terms of gameplay, music, story and characters, Fae Farm has a lot to offer, and it's well worth checking out for fans of the genre. In Fae Farm, you set off on an adventure to find a magical island, and, despite your ship sinking, you actually manage to reach your destination. The island gives off a striking first impression, as everything appears to be thriving there. Even the whirlpools that surround the island fit with the overall ambience, and there's nothing to fault with how the game sets out its world building. Fae Farm starts as you'd expect. You're given a house, a set of tools, and a vast world to explore. There are trees to cut, ores to mine, crops to farm, and animals to take care of. While the other game is very standard and by the book, you progress through it fairly quickly. This is because you're primarily just following a story, as shown in your quest log. You're free to explore and do other activities on your own, but the main quest serves as your indicator of what to do next. One helpful feature in the early game is that you don't have to switch between your main tools, sickle, shovel, pickaxe and axe. Simply interact with them in front of you, and depending on whether it's a tree, rock, grass patch or pile of dirt, your character will automatically select the right tool. It's refreshing in its simplicity. However, there seems to be less focus on farming and animal husbandry, and the products only sell for a low price at the market, significantly lower than mining materials, we might add. Combined with the fact that animals need constant attention, like petting, feeding, brushing, and fresh air, it means some parts of the early game feel more like a mandatory chore than a rewarding task. Especially since the petting brushing indicator would sometimes take a few extra seconds to show up. We had to spend a big part of our day just trying to find and pet all of the animals. As you progress further, the twist that makes this game stand out becomes more apparent: magic. There are various magic elements on the island, including evil thorns, unique creatures, potions, and various abilities. Thus, while it keeps the classic fan favourite elements that made Stardew Valley shine, it includes some new additions too, similar to wildflowers. This helps add some interesting twists to the game, especially in the late game experience when unlocking new areas and materials. There are various unexpected elements in the story and gameplay to keep you engaged while you wait to see what's coming next, so Fae Farm manages to keep you occupied throughout. However, magic elements are fairly limited, and other than some magic here and there, the game does little to stand out from the classic farming sim formula. While it's not necessarily bad, Fae Farm doesn't stray too far from other similar games. If you're not invested in the story, this can make the game feel repetitive and more of a remaster than an original game with new content. In terms of graphics and performance, Fae Farm does an amazing job. It runs smoothly without FPS drops on a decent rig, and the graphics are simply stunning for this kind of game. NPCs and characters feel unique, and the world is vast, cozy and colourful. What more could you want? As for music, the soundtrack manages to fit the mood appropriately. The music is spot on, with slower and sadder tunes during rainy days, cheerful notes on sunny mornings, and intense fast-paced tracks during combat. One of the best parts of Fae Farm, and something that wasn't added to genre king Stardew Valley for a long time, is that it includes multiplayer. Up to 4 players can work together on a farm and progress the game significantly faster. Considering that for most farming sims don't have multiplayer at launch, the co-op feature is a big plus for Fae Farm. While there aren't many bugs in general gameplay, during our Fae Farm review, we did have to deal with one game-breaking bug that caused our fishing rod and staff to disappear. This made it impossible to progress certain story quests or explore the mines, and there was no way to fix it other than restarting our whole save file. The developers are working hard on quick updates, so this should be fixed by the time you play it and are watching this review, but it's something to be aware of, and it would be unethical of us not to mention it. Overall, Fae Farm is a solid addition to the farming sim genre that looks amazing, doesn't manage to quite stand out much in terms of gameplay and quality of life content. If you're looking for a contender to Stardew Valley with better graphics and a bigger focus on story, Fae Farm is one of the many games you could try out. Voxel Smash gives Fae Farm 7 out of 10. Fae Farm is a cozy farming sim with great graphics, gameplay and world building, but it doesn't stand out much from other similar games, and feels more like a remaster than an original game in places.